Alright, much Abrew time. Ally, mill, in modern. And, oh boy, clone.hand. We do have a collected company. I think we try this. The upside of this hand is we can play a Spellskite, and then if we just get to collected company, we should have good stuff to clone and can probably mill our opponent out pretty swiftly. The downside is we could never do anything and just lose, because these clones are not good until we find a creature to copy. Opponent passes. Alright, they took our collected company. We were kind of counting on that. Well, let's Spellskite. Pass the turn. I guess we can just make a horde of Spellskites. We probably really don't want to do that. Oh boy. Well, come on, creatures. If we get an excavator, that could be sweet. Because we do have cloning power. Opponent corrects their catacombs. And traverse for land. And opponent passes. Alright, well, I mean, that's an ally. Undo cleric. Start the life gain. Oh, dear. I mean, that's not bad. We'd rather have it be an excavator, but that's fine. So Marsh Flats pass the turn. Our opponent knows our hand is just Clone City. Fatal Push, our cleric. I don't even think we regenerate. Or redirect, rather. Yeah, we'll just let it go. I don't think we really want to be cloning Undo Cleric anyway. Liliana kills our Spellskite. We can literally not play anything in our hand. I guess that's the downside of clone.hand. Harbaz Druid, pass the turn. No power, can't attack. Also not good to copy. Thoughtseize, well, we're going to be empty-handed here pretty quick. I'm noticing some issues with this deck. I mean, the deck's sweet, and the idea is sweet. But, man, we get some super clunky hands. It feels like when we're not... Maybe you just get a mulligan until you get an excavator and hope that your opponent is somehow not playing Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, Path to Exile, any of the other most popular cards in the format. Woo, boy. But yeah, there's Mega Clunk with these hands. We just have so many cards that are awesome in the best case scenario when we're doing something crazy and winning, but not very good in typical gameplay scenarios where we're just like playing out our stuff, our opponent's playing out their stuff, there's some removal and disruption. In those scenarios, our deck just has problems sometimes. Opponent passes. Alright, well, Phantasmal Image, probably just going to go to the graveyard. Yep, Abrupt Decays, Phantasmal Image dies. I mean, we got to play this land. If we don't play Phantasmal Image, our opponent's going to make us discard it. At least now their Liliana's only making them discard. There's a Death Shadow. We need to draw Return to the Ranks, Return to the Ranks, I guess. We don't have Rally the Ancestors. But we need to draw something like that. Collected Company. None of this matters. Oh, this is so bad. I guess I should have held that and made our opponent take up Liliana. But then maybe they would have discarded one of their cards. Oh, we've drawn so many clones. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyway, since our opponent had Kolaghan's Command. They have a million ways to make us discard. Mishra's a Bauble for our opponent. Lets them take up their Liliana for free. So I think Collected Company sort of gives us a chance-ish. Return to the Ranks actually isn't even very good. because we don't have anything good to get back. Opponent gets to draw an extra card. Spell Pierce, dead card. Whoo, boy. Yay, this running. Well, if I was going to take one lesson away from this game, it's that I guess we shouldn't have kept our initial... Oh, man. Shouldn't have kept our initial hand on the hopes that our opponent was going to... Or that we were going to draw something. Maybe that's just not something that we can do with this deck. Because I guess maybe it's just got to be thought of like a combo deck where you just mulligan aggressively to try to find your pieces and go all in on an excavator and hope for the best. I don't know how practical that plan is, but it might be how this deck has to play. As far as sideboards, we don't really have any Death Shadow hate. I mean, Chameleon Colossus would be good, but Liliana just absolutely wrecks it. It dodges other removal, but it doesn't dodge Liliana. Dispel, not exciting. Extraction isn't even especially exciting. Well, I guess it could maybe turn off Delirium. Stony Silence, Thalia. Yeah. I mean, not good. I don't think Chameleon Colossus is good enough. Thalia, I guess, is sort of okay. Stony Silence, basically dead. Ondu Cleric. This isn't that kind of aggro matchup. They're just going to kill us with huge Death Shadows. It's not like some incidental life gain is probably going to swing that. And we already have 2. Dispels, no. Alright, yeah. I guess we run it back. And just try to be more aggressive with our mulliganing. Alright. The classic one-lander that this deck loves to get. Temple Garden untapped. I mean, at least this hand we're doing something. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but we have a plan. And if we draw a land that makes blue mana, we can just keep copying out of Free Blades. The problem is that plan is so risky. Because we tap out to clone a Free Blade. Our opponent fatal pushes a Free Blade, and we just 2-for-1 ourselves. We actually had that happen last game. It wasn't really a bad thing because we were going to lose our cards anyway to Liliana, but that is a real concern with playing mono-clone.hand. And we get a lot of hands like this. Alright, it's a land, but it's a white land. Well, let's just Temple Garden. Yeah, let's just Free Blade. I guess I should have played that tapped. Although, we're probably going to be cloning Death Shadows, so maybe losing a bit of life incidentally is a good thing. So, pump up our Free Blades. Attack for 2. I think this is better. Getting an extra counter on Free Blade seems more important than gaining a random life. Probably going to get fatal pushed here anyway. Yep, looks like. There's the fatal push. So we're back to the risky stage, where if we draw blue mana, we might just 2-for-1 ourselves. There's an Inquisition. Opponent takes the card that we potentially could cast. Cracks Bloodstained Mire. Do they just have more discard? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Blood Crypt untapped. And what, Thoughtseize? Oh boy. Yikes. There goes Phantasmal Image. Well, the little free blade that could. That's where we're at now. You never know. I mean, window's open. If we draw blue mana, we get to clone it. Well, there's blue mana. Marsh Flats, crack it. Man, our mana base is painful, too. Shapeshifter, copy the Free Blade. Get in with Free Blade. And pass the turn. Cycles Death Shadow. Cycles Street Wraith. Getting set up for a big Death Shadow. And there's the big Death Shadow. And Traverse for another Death Shadow, I'm sure. Yup. Well, our Free Blades are going to have a hard time keeping pace with that. Spell Pierce. Well, Shapeshifter. Opponent's just playing 1 mana 13/13s. Actually, they're more just like 8/8s, 10/10s. Which makes our 1 mana 3/4s look pretty silly. So past the turn, we know our opponent at least has a Death Shadow. They also have 4 cards in hand and haven't made a land drop in a while. So they're just overflowing with action. And we have a Spell Pierce, which we can't cast. Opponent hits us. We gotta take it. There's really not much else we can do. Going 0 paths anywhere in the deck, like 0 creature removal period, that's a, I guess, a pretty clear sign that the deck is trying to be all-in combo. Because you don't win fair matchups very often with 0 removal. So I think next game, if we don't have an Excavator in hand, we're just going to mulligan. I think maybe that's how you have to play this deck, is just mulligan and hope that you get lucky. I'm starting to think that's the plan. I mean, we'll play Mirror Entity. I don't think anything we do here really matters. So pumps up our Free Blades. They are big, not bigger than Death Shadows. So I guess we can, like, triple, quadruple block. I guess if our opponent attacks with both, we block with 1 Free Blade and hope that somehow we can sneak out a victory. In theory, we can pump our Free Blades by 3 next turn. So it's like 7, 6, 3. Oh, never mind. Opponent Abrupt Decays. No attacks. Well, play Druid. Maybe we're kind of slowly getting there. That pumps all of our Free Blades. Do we even attack? We attack. If our opponent has Street Wraith, oh, we just lose on the spot. We get so blown out. Oh, boy. It also pumps the Death Shadows to where we'd have to double chump. Oh, it's so risky. We know our opponent has 4 non-lands in hand. I think we got to go for it. If they have a Street Wraith, then we lose. But I don't think we can win if our opponent keeps the Death Shadows on the table. Opponent takes it. Alright, that's actually good. It pumps up this Death Shadows, but we have a counter if they go Temur Battle Rage, and then theoretically we could win on the backswing. So maybe with this Spell Pierce, there's a way we can win. Alright, Tarfire. Attacks with both. I think we actually got this. Double chump the Death Shadows. We have Spell Pierce for... Oh, wow. And we don't have removal, so now we're dead. Yep. That's where Path is a card that's helpful. Yeah, it does not seem like this deck is designed to win fairly. But occasionally, often actually, we get draws where it feels like we have to try to win that way. Alright. We'll try another one. Thanks for watching the video. If you're subscribed, make sure to hit that bell icon to get notifications for all the latest videos. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and you can find the next video right here.